Okay, so we're diving into UFOs this time.
Or UAPs, I guess we should say.
Right?
Right.
UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena.
The preferred term these days?
It's a little less baggage than UFOs, I guess.
Yeah, maybe a little more respectable sounding.
So, I mean, everybody thinks they know about UFOs.
Right.
Little green men, flying saucers.
Spaceships.
All that.
Yeah.
But your sources this time,
Right.
they go way beyond that.
They do.
And really, it all starts to get interesting. After
Yeah.
World War II, global tensions are high. Everybody's on edge.
Yeah, the world was a very different place back then.
And then all of a sudden, in 1947, Kenneth Arnold spots 9 unidentified objects near Mount Rainier.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that.
And that kicks off this wave of similar sightings.
Yeah, all across the U.S.
Across the U.S.
It was a phenomenon.
And you know, you mentioned the Cold War.
Yeah.
And it's important to think about this in that context because people weren't just worried about aliens, right?
Yeah.
Not really, no.
It was more like...
Well, the bigger fear, I think, was that some rival nation, like the Soviet Union, had developed some kind of super advanced technology.
Like a secret weapon or something.
Exactly. Something that could threaten U.S. security.
So that's where the government really starts to take notice.
Yeah.
And this is where Project Blue Book comes in.
One of the most famous UFO investigations.
Over 12,000 sightings investigated.
Wow.
I mean, that's a lot.
That's a huge number.
It's amazing to me that they actually looked into that many reports.
Well, you have to remember the climate at the time.
Yeah.
Any unexplained aerial phenomenon could have been a potential threat.
Right, so they had to take it seriously.
Absolutely. National security was paramount.
Of course.
Now, of course, most of those sightings turned out to have perfectly rational explanations.
Weather balloons, misidentified aircraft, that sort of thing.
Exactly.
But there were some that remained unexplained.
701 to be exact. 701 cases that they just couldn't figure out.
Those are the ones that really fuel our curiosity.
Hey.
The ones that make us wonder if there's something truly extraordinary happening.
And that brings us to what I guess is the big one.
Oh, yeah.
The Roswell incident.
The granddaddy of them all.
In 1947, a flying disc crashes in the New Mexico desert.
What a story.
Talk about a story that captured the public imagination.
It's still talked about today.
And it's interesting how the military's explanation changed over time.
Well, initially they came right out and said it was a flying disc.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine the shockwaves it sent to the media?
I bet people were freaking out.
They were. And then suddenly it's just a weather balloon.
It's like, what happened there?
Right. Why the sudden change in the story?
It just makes you wonder if they were trying to cover something up.
Absolutely. That's what really fueled public distrust.
Yeah.
And it turned the Roswell incident into this breeding ground for conspiracy theories.
Which it still is today.
Oh, yeah. Roswell continues to fascinate people.
It's like a never-ending mystery.
But you know what's really intriguing to me?
What's that?
The government's interest in all of this, in UFOs, or UAPs as they're now called.
Yeah.
It hasn't faded away.
No.
In fact, it seems like it's actually intensified in recent years.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like they're taking it more seriously than ever.
It's true. I mean, they've got a dedicated task force now.
The Pentagon even held congressional hearings about UAPs.
And they've released those videos taken by military pilots.
Oh, yeah, the ones that went viral.
I mean, this is definitely not your grandpa's conspiracy theory anymore.
Right, it's gone mainstream.
This shift in attitude is really interesting, though.
It is.
Why now?
Yeah, why is the government suddenly being so open?
After decades of secrecy.
Exactly what prompted this change?
What are they thinking?
Could it be they've discovered something they can no longer keep quiet?
I know, that's a thought.
Makes you wonder.
It really does.
Like, what do they know that we don't?
Let's talk about that UAP report that was released in November of 2024.
Okay.
Hundreds of new UAP reports.
757 to be exact.
757, wow.
But out of all those reports, only a small fraction were deemed truly anomalous.
How many?
21.
Only 21.
But still.
That's still a lot to think about.
Oh, it is. It definitely leaves us with a lot to ponder.
21 cases that they just can't explain.
Unexplained aerial phenomena defying our understanding of physics and technology.
And they're not just like fleeting glimpses either.
No, some of these reports describe sustained tracking, multiple witnesses, radar confirmation.
It's pretty chilling when you think about it.
It is.
I mean, what if this really is some kind of advanced tech from another country?
It's a possibility. We can't rule it out.
It makes you wonder what they're capable of.
And what their intentions might be.
Exactly.
It's a sobering thought.
It is, but we have to be careful about jumping to conclusions.
Right. We need to stick to the evidence.
The director of ARO,
The Airborne Object Identification and Management Synchronization Group.
Right, the government's official UAP investigation team.
Yes.
They said they haven't found any concrete evidence of aliens yet.
So far, the data doesn't point to extraterrestrial involvement.
So we have to remain skeptical.
We do, but we also have to be open-minded.
Right. It's a tough balance.
It is, but it's the scientific method.
We need evidence, not just speculation.
Precisely.
Okay, so we're not saying it's aliens.
Right.
But we're not ruling it out either.
Exactly.
I think it's fair to say that the possibility is still on the table.
I agree.
But let's shift gears for a minute and talk about pop culture.
Right.
Because it's had a huge influence on how we view UFOs.
Oh, absolutely.
Think about all the movies and TV shows.
Oh, I love those.
Close Encounters, The X-Files, all of them.
They've definitely shaped our collective imagination.
They tap into our fascination with the unknown.
Our fear of the unknown, too.
It's true.
It makes you wonder how much of what we believe about UFOs actually comes from these fictional narratives.
That's a really good question.
It's important to think critically about where our beliefs come from.
Don't just accept everything you see on screen.
Exactly. Do your own research. Question your assumptions.
Be a skeptic, but also be open to new possibilities.
That's the key.
It's like a delicate dance between skepticism and open-mindedness.
Well said.
So we've got this mix of real-world events,
right,
government investigations, and pop culture influences.
A lot to untangle.
It's a real puzzle.
It is.
But let's get back to Project Blue Book for a moment.
Okay.
It officially ended in 1969.
Right.
And for years, it seemed like the government was trying to bury the whole UFO issue.
So get it under the rug.
So why this sudden resurgence of interest?
Yeah, why are they seemingly more transparent now?
It's a good question.
There are a few theories floating around.
Like what?
Well, some people believe that the government is finally ready to acknowledge what's been going on for decades.
Like they're embracing transparency.
Exactly. They're coming clean.
Others think this openness is a way to prepare the public for something bigger. Like what?
Like maybe some kind of official disclosure about extraterrestrial life?
Oh, wow. That would be huge.
Right. It's like they're slowly acclimating us to the idea.
Drip feeding us information.
Exactly.
That's an interesting theory.
And then there's the national security angle.
Okay.
Maybe they're worried about other countries developing advanced tech.
I mean, it makes sense.
Right. They need to stay ahead of the game.
Exactly. And by being open about UAPs,
yeah,
they can track advancements in foreign technology.
And maybe even use that information to develop their own.
So it's like a new kind of arms race.
Exactly.
It's all about staying ahead of the curve.
So we have transparency disclosure or a new arms race.
It's hard to know for sure what's driving this shift in policy.
Yeah, it's a real mystery.
But the fact remains that there are things happening in our skies.
Yeah.
Things that we can't easily explain.
Unexplained phenomena that challenge our understanding of the world.
And the more we learn,
yeah,
the stranger it gets.
We're just scratching the surface of this mystery. It feels that way.
And who knows what we'll uncover next.
I can't wait to find out.
And it's not just like grainy photos and shaky videos anymore, you know?
No, not at all.
Your sources, they include reports from like really credible witnesses.
We're talking military pilots, radar operators, people who really know what they're looking at.
People whose job it is to identify things in the sky.
Exactly, trained observers.
And these people are seeing things that just...
Things that seem to defy the laws of physics.
Yeah.
Things that just don't make sense.
One example that really stands out?
The Nimitz incident.
Remind me about that one.
Okay, so back in 2004, off the coast of California, U.S. Navy pilots, they encountered this series of objects. Tic-tac-shaped objects.
Tic-tacs, like the candy?
Yeah, shaped like that.
Wow.
And these things were performing maneuvers.
They couldn't
nobody could explain them.
So what was so strange about these maneuvers?
Well, imagine an object moving at hypersonic speeds and then suddenly changing direction instantly.
Like no deceleration, no turning radius, nothing like that.
Exactly. It was teleporting.
And no known aircraft can do that.
Nope, not even close.
And this wasn't just a single pilot seeing things, right?
Oh, no. Multiple pilots, radar operators on the ships, even technicians on the ground. They all saw it.
And they all described the same thing.
Pretty much, yeah. Their descriptions are remarkably consistent.
So it wasn't just some quick glance or anything.
They tracked these objects for like a week.
A week?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's like something straight out of a movie.
Except it's not.
Right. This is real. This is documented in official military reports.
And there are other cases like it too, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Pentagon's own UAP report acknowledges that there are tons of encounters that can't be explained away.
Not just misidentified aircraft or weather phenomena or anything like that.
They admit that there are things out there we don't understand.
Things that are beyond our current understanding of technology.
That's the thing that really gets me.
So if it's not our technology,
yeah,
and it's not some natural phenomenon,
right,
what are we left with?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
I mean, some people jump right to aliens.
It's tempting to go there.
I know, I do sometimes.
I get it. It's exciting.
But we have to be careful about jumping to conclusions.
Absolutely. Just because we don't have an explanation doesn't mean it's aliens.
But it does open up the possibility.
It does.
Yes.
It has to.
It makes you think about other possibilities, too.
Like what?
Well, maybe some foreign adversary has developed technology that's way beyond what we thought possible.
Like secret tech we don't know anything about?
Right.
Or maybe
it's something completely new.
Like we discover a whole new principle of physics?
Something we never even imagined.
All of those options are pretty mind-blowing.
I know, it's hard to wrap your head around it.
This is why I love this topic.
That's fascinating.
But I have to admit there's something unsettling about it, too.
I know what you mean.
Like the idea that we're not alone and that there are things out there we don't understand.
Things that might be in our airspace right now.
It challenges our sense of control.
Big time.
Makes you feel small.
For centuries, we thought we were alone.
That Earth was unique.
But what if we're wrong?
That's a big what if.
It's humbling.
It is.
And a little frightening, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
What if these UAPs are hostile?
I mean, that's a legitimate concern.
If we're dealing with technology that's beyond our comprehension...
we need to be prepared for anything.
So what is the government doing about it?
Well, they created a Euro.
To investigate these phenomena.
Right.
But is that enough?
It's a start.
Are they doing everything they can to protect us?
I mean, some experts argue that we need a global effort.
Like a worldwide task force?
Exactly, because these UAPs aren't just appearing over the U.S.
They're everywhere.
All over the world.
This isn't an American problem.
It's a human problem.
We need to be sharing information resources working together.
Absolutely, if we want to figure this out. And there's the psychological impact, too.
Right, people are seeing things they don't understand, and it's scary.
It's unsettling.
People are afraid.
How do we navigate that as a society?
I think honesty is key.
Like the government needs to be transparent.
About what they know and what they don't know.
And we need to be willing to talk about it.
Openly and honestly.
Without freaking out.
Or dismissing it outright.
It's a balancing act.
It is.
But this isn't just about UFOs.
No.
You know?
It's bigger than that.
It's about our relationship with the unknown.
It's about confronting the possibility that we might not know everything.
That there might be things out there that challenge our understanding of reality.
That's a powerful concept.
It is.
And it raises so many questions.
But what can we do right now?
Yeah, like as individuals.
Yeah, we've talked about the government, the military, the scientists.
What about the average person?
What can we do?
Well, I think we have a crucial role to play.
Like what?
Citizen science is important.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. Anyone can contribute valuable information.
So what if someone sees something strange in the sky?
Something they can't explain.
What should they do?
First of all, don't dismiss it.
Don't just ignore it.
Don't assume it's nothing.
Document it if you can.
Take pictures, videos, whatever you can.
And report it.
Yes, report it to a reputable organization.
Like who?
Like MUFO or U4C.
What are those?
The Mutual UFO Network and the National UFO Reporting Center.
And what do?
They collect and analyze UAP reports.
So they take this seriously?
They do. They have experts who can look at your report and see if it's something unusual.
Okay, so let's say for a minute that some of these UAPs are aliens.
Okay.
What does that mean for humanity?
Wow, that's the big question, isn't it?
What would it mean for us?
Would it be good or bad?
Would they be friendly or hostile?
Would they share their technology with us?
Or would they try to conquer us?
It's like something out of a science fiction novel.
But it could be real. It's both exciting and terrifying.
And we might have to face that reality sooner than we think.
This isn't just some abstract thought experiment anymore. Evidence is out there.
People are talking about it. It's gone mainstream.
This could be the biggest discovery in human history.
It could also be the end of everything we know. It's
a journey we're all taking together.
And it's just getting started. I mean, it's a lot to think about, isn't it?
It really is.
All these potential implications.
And extraterrestrial life.
Yeah.
It's kind of overwhelming.
I think it's important, though, to step back for a minute.
Okay.
From all the geopolitical stuff.
The science and the technology.
And think about the human element.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, at its core, this whole UFO thing,
Yeah.
It's about something more than just like facts and figures.
It's about that curiosity.
Exactly.
That wanting to know, like, what's out there.
That primal wonder.
Yeah.
When you look up at the night sky.
All those stars.
And you think about, like, what else is out there?
And are we alone?
It's a question we've been asking for centuries.
And you know what else?
What's that?
We humans,
yeah,
we love a good story.
Oh, we do.
We always have.
Always have.
From the beginning of time.
Since we sat around campfires.
Yeah.
Telling tales.
And UFOs, they've been part of our stories for a long time.
Oh, yeah. They're woven into our pop culture.
All those books.
Movies.
TV shows.
It's endless.
Close Encounters.
The X-Files.
Oh, the classic.
They've shaped how we see aliens.
How we think they might act.
What they might want from us.
Sometimes it's scary.
Alien invasions. Hostile encounters.
But sometimes it's exciting, too.
Advanced technology. New knowledge.
First contact.
It's a mixed bag.
It really is.
But it makes you wonder.
Yeah.
How much of what we think we know about UFOs comes from those stories?
From fiction.
Do we see what we expect to see?
Because of the movies we've watched.
The books we've read.
It's like that saying.
Which one?
We don't see the world as it is. We see it as we are.
I like that one.
Our beliefs.
Our experiences.
Our culture.
It all shapes how we perceive reality.
But we have to be careful.
With UFOs especially.
We have to be critical.
Think for ourselves.
Question our assumptions.
Don't just believe everything you hear.
Or see. We can't just jump to conclusions.
We need to look at the evidence. Way different perspectives.
Be open to the possibility.
That the truth might be something we never expected.
Stranger than fiction.
That's the thing about UFOs.
It's like this constant dance.
Between skepticism
and open-mindedness.
You need both.
You can't be too skeptical.
Or you'll miss out on something amazing.
But you can't be too open-minded either.
Or you'll believe anything.
It's a tough balance.
It is.
But that's what makes it so interesting.
The mystery.
The unknown.
The fact that we don't have all the answers.
That's what keeps us coming back.
Keeps us searching.
And that's where you come in.
The listener.
You're part of this too.
This search for answers.
It's not just scientists and the government.
It's all of us.
Anyone who's ever looked up at the sky and wondered.
What's out there?
Are we alone?
If you see something strange.
Something you can't explain.
Don't ignore it.
Document it.
Report it.
You could be holding a piece of the puzzle.
That helps us understand all of this.
Maybe one day we'll finally know the answer.
To the biggest question of all.
Are we alone in the universe?
But even if we never find that definitive proof.
The search itself is important.
It is.
It makes us think.
It challenges us.
It reminds us that there's still so much out there.
So much we don't know.
It keeps us curious.
It keeps us humble.
It reminds us that we're part of something much bigger than ourselves.
And that's a good thing.
That sense of wonder.
That thirst for knowledge.
That's what makes us human.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Well said.
We've covered a lot today.
A lot of ground.
But this is just the beginning.
Like the conversation.
So keep looking up. Keep asking questions.
Keep that wonder alive.
The universe is full of possibilities.
And who knows what we'll discover next.